after playthrough 3, I've now defeated the Shadow Lord again. And we're going to see Nier finally get his revenge for losing Yona. And then something a little different is going to happen.
Well, ain't that precious.
I'm happy for him.
You know, Sunshine, that black scrawl has almost completely taken you over.
Yeah, I know.
But goddamn, we had fun, huh? Killing and more killing. What a rush.
Yeah.
Wait, no! It wasn't fun at all! I turned you into a killing machine. I spread evil and chaos around the world. But it all feels so empty now. Why? I don't understand!
Sorry, Sunshine. Maybe I'm just nicer than you thought.
Stop! Don't treat me this way! I hate it when people are nice to me! I'm gonna swallow you up, Sunshine! I'm gonna swallow you whole!
Though Nier is reunited with Yona immediately after something goes wrong with Kaine, and it seems that her black scroll, which we saw when we first met her, is starting to take her over. And so we have no choice but to talk to her and see if there's anything at all that we can do.
Kaine, what is it?
Listen to me. The shade inside me is growing, and I can't stop it. Soon, real soon, I'm gonna go berserk.
I can't hold it back anymore!
Kaine, you have to fight. You have to...
Just shut up and listen to me. Emil is gone, all right? So there's no way anyone can stop me. Please. Before it comes to that, I want you to kill me. Consider it a final request.
Well, hell, Sunshine! It's not like I can stop it! When gestalts go out of control, they lose their minds! Your memory and mine will be completely overridden!
Kaine!
Run!
God damn it! There has to be a way! No, I won't do that!
to save her.
Who said that?
It don't matter, so don't ask. Just shut up and listen.
Wait, are you...
I said listen! There's a way to save Kaine's life, alright? But you're gonna have to make a difficult decision.
I'll do whatever it takes.
When the time comes, I'm going to pin Kaine down. And as soon as I do, you need to stab her in the heart.
No, I can't.
Fine. Don't believe me. Stand around with your thumb up your ass and watch her die a terrible death.
You want me to believe you?
Unfortunately, we have no choice but to actually fight her now. And in all fairness, it is what she requested Nier to do. Sad as it is. She just can't hold it back anymore. And she has some really, really neat bullet hell patterns. Probably some of the coolest looking ones in the entire game.
Very nice. Now, if you want to save your precious Kaine, there are two ways to do it. One is to plunge your sword into her chest. That's what she wants after all. Freedom from burdens, freedom from life.
What's the other way?
The other way is to make her a normal human being again. But to make that happen, you gotta trade your own existence for hers. Well, there you go. Good luck with that.
You're the shade inside Kaine. Why are you trying to help her?
Probably for the same reason you are. Enough talk. Make your choice.
What should I do? End Kaine's life and free her from her burden, or sacrifice your own existence to make Kaine human again? These are two tough choices, very tough choices, and I really enjoy the dialogue that Nier and Tyron, as we now know, as the game, I think Kaine said it earlier as well, when we were getting ending B. I'm still probably going to say Tyron moving forward still, but yeah, it's Tyron, which is probably more accurate because it sounds a little bit more like tyrant, which I'm sure is is derived from that word. These two choices correspond to endings C and D respectively, so we're going to be seeing both. I believe that were I to make this choice on my own without worrying about wanting to show both, I'd probably go for ending B. Excuse me, option B. Just because I think it makes the most sense with Nier, but it's tough. Like everything in Nier, there was always two sides to it. Because Nier just fought so much to save Yona from the Shadow Lord so they can have a life together. And now he's told he has to either kill the person he's become closest to on in this long, long journey that we've been on with him, or sacrifice his own existence. So for this moment right now, we're going to end Kaine's life and free her from her burden.
Kaine. go home.
Can you hear me? I spent years inside Kaine's body, tormenting her from within. I felt her pain, her emotions, as if they were my own. And there was so much pain. So when I say she's free now, I want you to believe me. Thanks to you, Kaine has been forgiven and saved. Oh wait, she had a final message for you. Thank you.
Kaine. We'll always be together.
What's really interesting about that ending is how little it has to do with Yona and both Yonas and the Shadow Lord. In fact, you'd think that, considering the fact that playthrough 2 was pitched as Kaine's story, you'd think that would be the ending to, it would have been ending B, but obviously they did need to give more closure for the Shadow Lord and Yona, and that was I understand why they did it that way, but it is an interesting difference there in comparison. Now, I'm not trying to find sympathy for Tyron, because I would not, because he's a monstrous person. But it is interesting how, in a very, very warped and screwed up way, he and Nier both developed a sort of caring for Kaine in very different ways and through very different paths. I'm wondering what happened to Tyron moving on after that point, because in ending B we saw, or both endings I think, we saw Gestalt Yona leave replicant Yona's body and go to the afterlife or whatever, what have you. And I imagine that Tyron, and I just switched it up again, Tyron not having a vessel to live in anymore probably did the same, even though we didn't get to see it. But it is great that he was able to give Nier that final message of thank you from Kaine, who, as we know, just from our interactions with her, but especially from the novel segments, did live a very, very tortured life that she expected to end in her first encounter with Tyron. So the fact that it was able to be extended, but more importantly be extended with the good times and memories that she got to spend with Nier and Emil, and Vice, of course, how could I forget? It's a pretty happy story with a tragic end, I guess is a good way to say it. But obviously that is only one choice out of two. So I now have to reload my save from before Shadow Lord's castle in this playthrough, and then get to the Shadow Lord again.
When the time comes, I'm going to bend Kaine down. Very nice. Now, if you want to save your precious Kaine, there are two ways to do it. One is to plunge your sword into her chest. That's what she wants after all. Freedom from burdens, freedom from life.
What's the other way?
The other way is to make her a normal human being again. But to make that happen, you gotta trade your own existence for hers. Well, there you go. Good luck with that.
You're the shade inside Kaine. Why are you trying to help her?
Probably for the same reason you are. Enough talk. Make your choice.
This time around, we get to choose, we get to help Nier make good on what he said, that he would do anything to make sure Kaine escapes this fate. We're going to sacrifice our own existence to make Kaine human again. NC Ending D.
You will disappear from this world. Your daughter, your friends, everyone in your life will forget you. You and any sign that you ever existed will be erased. And in exchange, Kaine will return to her mortal life.
If you choose this option, all of your save data will be erased. Are you sure about this? Yes, we are. Even if you elect against it this time, you can always return to the selection by clearing the game again. Are you still sure about this? Yes, we are. All Nier save data on the same user account will be erased, so you can only choose this option once. Are you really sure about this? You know what I'm gonna say. This is your last chance to change your mind. Are you really, really sure about this? Indeed. Enter the name of the player to be erased. The correct name was entered. All save files will be erased. That would have been a lot worse if I did the Fisherman's Gambit quest. By the way, this is handled beautifully, but I also realized when it was deleting the weapons that I forgot to point out that after ending B, we got the last weapon, which was the iron pipe that Nier uses in the prologue when we're playing as Gestalt Nier. And it's a really neat weapon. I've never actually used it, but it's neat that it's given to you. Oh, and there's the stats. For some reason, the stats was the one that hurts the most. Yeah, just seeing everything go away like this, just fade. Deleting memory 1. Deleted. I had 3 save files, so deleting memory 2. Deleted. Deleting memory 3. That should be it.
Are you alright?
Yona.
Are you... Are you the one who helped me? Oh, thank you.
I'm glad you're okay.
What's wrong? I mean, you defeated the Shadow Lord and everything, but... You don't look happy.
I don't?
Oh, a lunar tear. How pretty.
special. Something very special.
And that was ending D. Now, the surprise of the game actually deleting all of your save data is something that is still really, really novel in my opinion. And the fact that the method in which it does it, of showing you every panel of Grimoire Vice, deleting from the bottom up all of the fish you caught, all the side quests you did, all of the stats you earned. I had around 35 hours of playtime, which of course is not as long as I've spent in other JRPGs, but that's still time spent. And it's interesting that in order to do something that we've been told by the game's lore is irreversible, we have to do something so drastic. I can't remember in the very first video if it was even obvious, but I had no save data on my PS3, even though I've had my PS3 for years and years and years, and I've replayed Nier a lot of times. And that's because every time you get to ending D, I have to delete it, because I can't not. It's just, because when you replay a game like Nier, in my opinion, you're replaying it to experience the story after forgetting it, and wanting to relive it and spend time with these characters again. And so every time I've just always deleted the save data, and it's a very interesting cycle to sort of have to replay a game. It's not like a lot of games with New Game Plus where you can just continue from the very beginning. First of all, you can never replay part 1 on a New Game Plus file at all. And you just keep getting more and more powerful and building everything more and more of what you've earned. Nier says no, not possible. Thank you so much for going on this journey with this game with me. I appreciate it more than I could say. It's such a good game, and it's a damn shame that it's only possible to be played on the PS3 and the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I know so many people who love Nier Automata, which is also available on PC. So anyone can really have access to, or a lot of people can have access to Nier Automata, a lot more than people who still have a copy of Nier and also a working PS3 or 360. And I think it's a shame, because it's a game that stands so strongly, even without, on its own, without Automata, and wanting to see how the two games to compare, because they are very different in a multitude of ways, including the story, in my opinion. There's a lot of similar themes, but they're so different because Yoko Taro, by design, in my opinion, I've played a few of his games, he never makes the same game twice, never has, and at this point I don't think he ever will. And which was interesting, because I went from Nier to Drakengard 3, and I went into Drakengard 3 hoping for a Nier-like experience. Did not get that, because it's not a Nier game, it's a Drakengard game, and I should have been more cognizant of that going into it, knowing Yoko Taro as a developer. But by the end of Drakengard, which I got the platinum in, I ended up finding so many things about it that I loved, and its differences from Nier ended up elevating it in my mind as a game that's very different from what I was expecting, but still surprised me very positively. And for that reason, when Automata came out, I was thankfully not expecting it to be as like Nier exactly, and it wasn't. It's very different. In my opinion, Nier, the original 2010 Nier, compared to Automata, is a much more emotional and personal feeling game, because that's the themes and feelings that they wanted to convey in the storyline. And that's what makes this game personally resonate with me more. I love Automata, but it's difficult for me to become as attached to it as I am to this game. Which is why I think this was such a good option for me to play through, because it's been a blast re-experiencing it, remembering everything I forgot, especially the wolves and Facade and playthrough 2. That is rough stuff. And yeah, yeah, I don't know how much more I have to say. I've been talking about the game an awful lot ever since we first started playing. The ending, the fact that Nier, it's tragic that Nier had to sacrifice himself, but it really does seem like an ending that he himself is satisfied with, or would be satisfied with. He saved Yona, he rescued Yona, and on top of it, saved someone that he ended up loving. Well, you could, and what type of love that is, you could decide for your own self, whether it was a romantic love or just a love and closeness to Kaine. But now we're fading to black. I hope I don't start talking over a scene. Oh, there goes the deletion now. Okay. But yeah, not to mention, he can, thanks for playing. It's very optimistic and happy. I'm sure Nier was happy at the end, knowing that Yona is there with Kaine, someone who now has a new lease on life, she became a human again, and doesn't have to worry about Tyra and the Shade. And she and Yona can live out the rest of their lives together, and I like to think, in my head, there's a very fan fiction-y sequel, not in detail, but just I like the idea of Yona sort of raising, or excuse me, Kaine sort of raising Yona, and them sort of develop a mother and daughter relationship, just like Nier and her, and sort of to take Nier's spot in her life. It's unfortunate that they don't remember him, but I'm sure that Nier probably thought about that too. And yeah, it's a powerful ending. It's strong stuff, strong writing. It's good. Thanks for playing. You're welcome, Yoko Taro and Kavia. Thank you for making it. And now, on the main menu, even though if we click continue, we'll be told that the DLC is there, that there is no save data. But we do have a lunar tier on the main menu. And there's one last thing that I want to point out. If we go to do a new game and we start it on normal, just like how we did at the beginning, we'll get an autosave here. And we'll be told all the same stuff. And we are going to enter the name we used in the previous playthrough, Nier. Unfortunately, that name cannot be used. Is all we get, and we have to change it. But for now, I think for a good while, I'm done with this game. I'm very happy I got to replay it again, and I think I'm satisfied how this playthrough turned out, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'm going to put Nier down for a little bit until I start it up again in who knows how many years, and get to the ending D, delete my save data, and then wait for it to happen all over again. Of course, I would be very happy if a remaster was announced, preferably with a PC port and the ability to play as Replicant Nier. That would be very, very nice. Even if not just for my own sake of replaying it, but so people who want to experience this game and haven't had a chance to have the ability to. So, thanks for listening to me talk. I hope you had fun and were relaxed, and I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be after Nier. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.